We are coming to you live from $1 Million Studios. Your boys, Chris Speez,
a.k.a. Ivory White.
And the benchmark of professional wrestling, Mr. Silky Baines.
That would make me oil black. I'm actually not that dark.
Okay.
I know some people, though, that are.
We're not going to go there. Speez and the Benchmark Show on a Monday night, January 28th, 2019. We thank you so much for being with us here on Periscope and over on the YouTubes.
Mac Diesel dropping them super hearts.
And thank you, Mac Diesel, for the super hearts. Hope you guys will share the program, whether it be with your Periscope followers or get to retweeting over there on the Twitters. We appreciate that. And if you're not following us on Periscope or YouTube,
the fuck are you doing?
Get with the program because
we got some
it's
good shit.
Yeah, it's good shit. Hello, Just Chris 79. Good to see you, sir. A lot of stuff to talk about here tonight. We've got Monday Night Raw Fallout. We got the Royal Rumble. We got NXT Takeover, and everybody's favorite Speez and the Benchmark segment, a very special Royal Rumble edition of Smart Tiers coming up later on this evening. What's up, Kristen? How are you? Thank you, Lit Mantis, for the super hearts there, and my thank you, fuck you by Jim Cornette shirt here, getting some love from Get the Tables, and thank you, Get the Tables, for the super hearts. As we always say, you can support us here on the program by dropping those super hearts on Periscope, or you can drop a tip at the tip jar. tinyurl.com/sbtipjar is the website. As Silky likes to say,
these bills need to get paid.
Indeed they do. And of course, the phone lines are open if you want to get in on the conversation. 832-937-4559 is the number to do so.
832-93-SILKY. I was reading the comments, man.
832-93-SILKY. If you want to get in on the phone lines tonight. So, before we get to all that, Silky,
yo,
you got some great news this weekend. So, for those of you that don't know, Ring of Honor made its Texas swing this weekend. They were in Houston on Friday night, San Antonio on Saturday night.
And
I was
Dallas
out of town
on Thursday.
Dallas on Thursday. Thank you. I was out of town. It was my birthday on Friday. The wife's on Saturday, so we went out of town for the weekend. But Silky here not only attended the Houston show and the San Antonio show, but was used in the Houston show and the San Antonio show. Tell the folks about your appearance on the Ring of Honor shows this weekend.
That was actually kind of fun. I basically ran out to get the Kingdom out of the ring. And on the first show, that was on Monday. And then
Friday.
Friday.
What's up, Juanito?
And then the second show, Saturday, was Mayhem. It was the finals of Tag Wars, PCO and Brody King, which Villain Enterprises, against Juice Robinson and it was against Juice Robinson and Dave Finlay. And it just went into chaos. Like, it's one of those fucking Anchorman
now tell the people
situations.
what you did. So you got to go in there. You were supposed to go in and basically get in the way of these fuckers from killing each other.
I was getting to that.
Okay, sorry.
So PCO and Brody King win. And the Briscoes come out because, Tag Wars, you're the number one contenders to the tag team titles. And they fight, and it breaks out into chaos. They put PCO through a table, which that motherfucker just set up.
Fucking 50 years old or whatever he is.
And then they're like, go out there and break them up. So I run out there, and what do I get for my trouble? See, this is why life lesson learned, people. Especially if you're black. Never be the first guy down.
Never be the first guy down.
Because what do I get? I get jacked in the jaw by Brody King. And then all types of chaos it broke. I'm sure you guys have seen the chop spot where they just chop each other back and forth. These motherfuckers did it with chairs. And so
they're not chopping back and forth.
No, they are hitting.
They're headshotting each other.
Yes, they started throwing the chairs in each other's face. And then they graduated to hitting and opening the chair up over their heads. And to which I said, I'm good on this floor. These motherfuckers probably don't give a shit about me. And they got chairs. So
because at this point, backstage, they're saying, get your ass up, break these guys up.
Yeah.
And you're going, fuck this shit.
I was like, nah, fam, I'm good. I'm good. And finally, we did have to get up and, get them separated, but it was just complete chaos and carnage all around. The fans definitely loved the ending. Not so much me because, that shit was crazy.
Yeah, but you didn't have to take any chair shots.
Oh, yeah.
So that's good. But and look, if you got Honor Club, go back and watch the San Antonio show and keep an eye out for your boy Silky Baines. The Benchmark
Yes.
Showing up on Ring of Honor. Congrats, man. That's badass, dude. I was very happy to hear
It
the
was
news.
tiring.
And thank you to all of you dropping the Super Hearts there. Kristen Otis section. Lidmantis, I was so stoned for the Rumble, I thought my brain was making things up when Nia entered the men's Rumble. Lidmantis, you're fucking brilliant, sir.
That was weird in and of itself.
Yeah, it was very weird. Yeah, Jody, it will not be on regular TV. I don't believe it. It will be on the Honor Club, which is their paid subscription service. But we'll see. If we can...
sure you. I can't go on. Just direct message me, and I'll send you something. I can't say it.
We'll figure something out.
We'll figure something out for you guys.
We got the hookup for Jody.
Yeah.
Cancer survivor Jody. We've hooked her up before. We're gonna do it again. So, hey, it's on pay-per-view/Fight TV. All right, then. Otis section dropping a lot of Super Hearts, as is Kristen. We appreciate that. Yeah, Litman, I was curious to hear your take, and I'm glad you're with us here because Litmantis, regular on the Dr. Huge show, which you can catch every day at 6 p.m. Central. That's 7 o'clock for those of you on the East Coast. Litmantis in the crowd for the Royal Rumble this weekend. So interested to hear his take. So we'll talk about the Rumble. We'll talk about tonight's Monday Night Raw and a little bit of NXT if we get some time here. And, of course, we'll work in some smart tiers in a bit. So let's start with the Women's Royal Rumble since that one came on first. We'll start with the two Rumble matches.
Yeah.
And then we'll work our way forward from there. So your thoughts, immediate thoughts, everybody in the chat room. And like I said, if you want to give us a call, you can do that as well. But for now, everybody's thoughts on the Women's Royal Rumble. Of course, for those of you who don't know by now, Becky Lynch managed to get into the Rumble due to an injury to Lana, somehow convinced, was it Fit Finlay, I believe?
Yes.
To let her in the Rumble.
Which I just don't understand. Like, why did Becky need Fit Finlay to put her in this match? Yet Nia just walked in the fucking ring, like,
exactly.
Just got in.
Yeah, that was kind of crazy.
Yes, it did drag.
Yeah, that was going to be. I'll let you talk on this first, Silky. What's your thoughts on overall on the Women's Royal Rumble match and Becky Lynch coming out as the winner?
Kind of predictable. Like, I mean, listen to all formats. This was not like a surprise. There were a lot of people calling Becky losing and then getting into the Rumble and winning the Rumble, and that's what happened. So, other than that, I mean, it was very underwhelming as far as the surprise. The matches were good. There was, my opinion, they went to the well too often with that person getting out of the ring but not being eliminated and staying there for a while and coming back. They did it with Zelina Vega.
What did you think of Hornswoggle showing up and chasing Zelina Vega?
I was laughing my ass off because
I thought that was great.
The boy Everett Ofter was over there watching it with me, our boy from DZW, and he was making a joke when Selena was under there, like, oh, she's probably having tea with Hornswoggle. Just like didn't know.
Just out of the blue. Out of the blue. Idea.
And then later on, you see her, and then you see Hornswoggle, and we just cracked up a good laugh on that.
Yeah, a lot of people. Let's get to. A lot of people are saying that it dragged. It
was long.
It was a long ass match. And here's my thing: were there any? And correct me if I'm wrong, but aside from Becky getting into the match, which was kind of a foregone conclusion anyway, so I wasn't really all that shocked by that. There weren't really any oh shit moments in that Rumble match. There weren't any, like, to me it was devoid of big moments, whether it be a big moment like somebody showing up that you didn't expect. And Litmantis mentioned this, and we might as well talk about this now, that there were too many who the fuck is this gal people showing up at the Rumble. And I know a lot of people said, hey, I'd rather see the future than the past. I'd rather see the people who are up and coming than calling back a lot of, people who haven't been there in forever. If you look at Raw tonight, and we'll talk about this in a little bit, fucking Jeff Jarrett and Road Dogg showing up got a fucking enormous pop. People loved it. They think it's great. And to me, I'm okay with that shit happening at the Royal Rumble. Like, that's the event where you go, okay, it's cool if somebody shows up for a one-off. Yeah. And these old-timers show up. I don't know who the fuck some of these people are. Like this Casey Carrascomatis fucking
Catanzaro.
Catman, what's her name?
Catanzaro.
Catanzaro? Is her first name Casey?
Yes.
Who the fuck is that gal? I heard she's Ricochet's girlfriend. She looks like a middle school cheerleader. I'm not trying to knock her, But the girl looks like she's fucking 12 years old. I've never seen this girl in my life.
She was in the Mae Young Classic, and before that, she was actually the first female to conquer the mountain on Mount Midori or Midoriano.
Oh, on American Ninja Warrior.
Yeah.
Yeah, they said that about her as well.
Yeah, so
didn't have any idea who that was. I don't, the Chinese girl that was apparently
Xia Li.
Yeah. Never fucking heard of that gal in my life.
She was
either.
in the Mae Young Classic as well.
Okay. Well, you can tell I didn't watch much Mae Young Classic, folks.
Yeah.
But yeah, like
Rhea Ripley was in there.
Rhea Ripley looks like a badass.
Yeah, like, and it's funny because the first year's Mae Young Classic, she was like a stick figure, but just really tall. And then
she is fucking tall, yeah.
Yes, and now she, I guess, over that time from the first to the second, she gained some muscle mass and just looks like a totally different person because she was the one that our girl Miranda, Selena's face in the first one.
Miranda from Booker T's promotion.
Yeah,
here,
so, and if you go back and watch that match, and then watch her now, and it's like a totally different person.
Really?
I'm surprised Toni Storm wasn't in it.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people said. Naomi and Casey doing the X Games stuff was a bit much, says Ravens.
Naomi was kind of funny because, one, she almost fell, and two, like she did all that, jumped to the apron and jumped to the stairs, and I forgot, Mandy Rose pulled her off.
Pretty much, yeah.
So, I mean, it was a pay. I thought, okay, this is the payoff for this. You know what I mean? Like, she sent your man a hotel room key. You went there. She beat your ass, and then she beat you in a match. I was like, okay, this is her payoff. She eliminates her from the Rumble. But no, Mandy still gets the better of her and eliminates her.
Exactly.
So I thought that was just hilarious. She did all that, jumped, and then got pulled off. The Kofi one was I liked the Kofi one this year.
Kofi one was pretty good.
Yeah.
Thanks to those of you just now joining us. If you wouldn't mind sharing the program, we'd appreciate that. Whole pay-per-view was long, says Jerry the Geek, but NoFX says it's the Rumble. It's supposed to be long.
Yeah. Lacey Evans being number one.
I thought was great. Yeah, I really enjoyed her.
Once she settled in, like she was botching shit all over at the beginning, like all the athletic stuff she was trying to do, like doing the little nip up and the stuff, like But as the match settled in, she got better. You could tell it was probably just nerve because you've been at NXT. They've been running these vignettes about you debuting, and your first time the WWE world actually sees you in action is at arguably the second biggest pay-per-view next to WrestleMania.
Yeah, I agree.
It's easy to get overtaken by the moment, so I don't want to shit on her like, oh, she did crappy, like she couldn't do the nip up, because one, my fat ass can't do a nip up anyway. So
you call it a nip up instead of a kip up?
Yeah.
Okay, I was just wondering. Is that like a? Never mind. I'm not going to make the joke that I was going to make there.
No, it's a racial thing. Like,
no, I wasn't going to make it a racial thing.
No, but what I'm saying is that I believe in Japan you say kip up.
Okay, because I've always heard it referred to as a kip up, but
to a Japanese person you refer to it as a kip up because nip up is a racial, kind of like a racial slur.
Well, that's why I always called it a kip up. A lot of folks like the NXT people. Lit Mantis says, I'm 29 years old. I'm trying to see Molly Holly and shit. So, Speez, lay off the names. Leave it to Silky. Yeah, well, okay. Hey, that ninja chick got some skills, says Steve Weisers. Missed Raw at work. Did Seth pick Brock? We'll get to that shortly, but no, Seth did not pick Brock. He didn't pick anybody because he was too busy getting the shit kicked out of him.
Which is pretty
so Io Shirai was a surprise for me. Io. She looked good.
Io was in.
Okay, yeah, we got to get to this Kairi Sane trying to shoot. I tweeted this out. Poor choice on her part because if you're going to attack Charlotte, don't attack the boobs.
Yeah,
those things are indestructible, and she was like boob slapping her. And
I was like, literally telling Everett, I was like, man, I would like to do that because literally it looked like she was just doing this.
Yeah, that's exactly
right. I could do that.
Yeah.
Shit, put me in that room. I'll do that all day.
Yeah, my biggest takeaway from the Women's Rumble was that, as soon as Becky lost the title
she was going to get in.
To Asuka at TLC, again, yeah, it's pretty much what everybody said. Oh, well, Becky's winning the Rumble. And when that shit happens, it's just kind of like, all right. And Chris Rucker said it earlier. He said it on Twitter. He said sometimes predictable is good. And let's face it, everybody wants to see
Ronda and
Becky. So they got it.
Yeah.
So okay.
Now, let me ask you a question, because I was listening to Busted Open, and Bully Ray was basically saying that he thinks Becky should pick Asuka just due to the fact that she tapped her out.
Bully Ray said he was not a fan of her tapping out, that she should have just passed out.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I think she should have passed out. But now that that's happened, do you think that it makes it seem like she's running away from Asuka?
I tweeted this out earlier during Raw tonight because I'm on record as saying this, and look, that's what we do on this show. We give opinions, whether they're popular or not. We're not ass kissers trying to get retweets and shit. We give our opinions. You agree, you disagree. That's the way it works. I don't get the big deal with Becky Lynch. And I tweeted this out earlier tonight. So basically, we've talked about it before on the show. She had a losing record when she was SmackDown Live Women's Champion. She got her face caved in by Nia Jax. She taps out to Asuka. And then she gets fucked up at the Rumble to the point to where she's still gimping down the aisle the next day. Well, where's the part where she's a badass? Like, all that shit to me does not scream badass. And I mean,
but how can you say,
it's just I don't get it.
The fact that she's still there, that's what screams badass. The fact that
there's lots of people who get their asses kicked though and come back out the next day after they got their asses kicked.
But moments after her face being caved in and still fighting, even though her shit was swollen and bleeding. That makes her. You cannot tell me that's not the most badass shot of the year. Possibly is Becky standing at the crowd, face all fucked up and bloody.
Production value wise, sure, it's great. Anytime you got a bloody wrestler these days, production value wise, that's fantastic.
But you can't tell me that wasn't badass. You can't say that.
Okay, even if you want to say that moment was badass, to me, there's still way too many other things that don't. I don't buy the character. That's it. It's just not for me. And the other thing is, when I watch a Becky Lynch match, there's literally nothing Becky Lynch does in the ring that I go, wow, that was really fucking cool. I just find her vanilla. I just find her boring when she's in there wrestling. And again, I get it. I get that I'm in the minority. I get that most people like her because of her personality and her character more so than her wrestling skills. Yeah. And that's fine. I get that too. It's just it doesn't work for me. And so then I go, okay, well, at least I got her in-ring stuff to fall back on. But again, I just don't see anything about her that gets me all hyped up. So what the fuck are you talking about? You got double Lebowski's going on here. Stop hating on Becky, says Chris Rucker.
Word.
Hey, I'm just being honest, man. I just it's not my thing. Don't count out Charlotte being added to this match. It's gonna go. It's not gonna end well for Charlotte if that's the case, because the fans are gonna. You saw what the fans did to Ronda Rousey tonight. We'll fucking get to that later on, but that was crazy. How can Becky threaten Ronda after tapping out to Asuka? Doesn't make sense. That's what I said, Ravens Blood.
Well, I mean, she can. Why couldn't she? I mean, anyone's been in a fight? Just because you've been in a fight, I'm sure everyone has probably lost in some way or form a fight. That doesn't mean you act like a bitch for the rest of your life. That means that you don't ever fight. So, she lost that war. She lost that match. Do I think she should have tapped out? No, I think she should have done the pass out gimmick, and that would have martyrized her even more. That, hey, Becky's so tough that she didn't even tap out. The ref called it.
Yeah.
And then she comes back and she's so tough that, she hurt her leg, but she still fought through and won the Rumble. Then we have a different story. But it does, like I say, it does make sense that she would call her out after tapping out. Now, and who's to say they won't wrap it up in some kind of non-title gimmick on SmackDown where she can get her heat back from Asuka?
That's true.
And make Asuka tap.
Chris Rucker says, come on, bro, we're wrestling fans. We don't get into fights.
Yeah, that's true.
Since when does Vince give the fans what they want? Well, he sure as shit did yesterday. Becky's a troll, says Dr. Huge. And that made her the man. You don't need to buy it. She's over with the arena. Hey, that's, like I said, I'm in the minority here, and I'm okay with that. Just that's where I stand on it. Maybe she tapped knowing she had a chance to get Ronda. She's trying to save herself, which MMA folks do from time to time. If they know they ain't getting out of it, they just say fuck it and they tap out, and so be it.
Yeah.
So Becky Lynch, and of course she showed up on Monday Night Raw tonight, for those of you who did not watch, and had the face-off with Ronda Rousey, and basically said, I don't need time to think about it. I want you at WrestleMania. Now, earlier in that segment, Ronda Rousey came out and cut what was probably the most painful to watch promo
a little bit
of her tenure here at WWE. It was really bad. The crowd was not having it.
Yeah.
There was Becky chants, there was everything else, and Ronda had no idea what to do. She was just smiling and dropping the mic and kind of looking around like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. And it just looked bad. And finally, somebody cued Bayley's music, and Bayley came out from the back, and they had a match, and that pretty much saved it. But holy shit, Ronda was drowning.
Yeah, she was.
She was drowning there.
Yeah, definitely. That normally, I'm here to say you gotta look at it. You're being too harsh on her and stuff, but yeah, she 100% like fucked that up. Like you could tell it was getting to her, and she couldn't remember. And this is why I hate being the idea of having a promo written out for you.
Because if something goes sideways,
and then also you're trying to play like they need to just invest in Ronda being a heel right now.
I think so.
Because then it would make it so much easier. Because when you're trying to do that and the crowd's just not having it within the confines of you being a face, there's really nothing you can do but stand there and look like Boo Boo the Fool.
That's right.
So
that's right.
At least as a heel, you can like that promo that she cut with Becky was basically a heel, and like you could tell. Like we were talking about before we went on air. You could tell what seemed organic that she would say versus what the writers gave her.
Absolutely.
The line when she was like, I'll break your face faster than you can say Nia Jax, that's something the writers would think would pop the crowd.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
The line when she was like, I've been a household name for a decade. How long have you been the man?
That was like fucking brilliant.
That was great.
And for her to come back and save face at the end of that promo, because I'm going to be honest with you, when she dropped that line, how long have you been the man? Because I've been a household name for a decade. Becky can sit there with that smarmy fucking look on her face all she wants. She can't say shit to that. That was a fucking mic drop moment.
That was definitely.
I mean, there's nothing else you could do. Mic drop, speaking of which, was in the crowd and couldn't help but laugh at the Ronda promo earlier. We need more serious Ronda, says Get the Tables. I agree there. And Roman, look. It's interesting that Mantis brings up Roman Reigns. How many times has that guy had to survive moments like that? And he did. And
But again, Roman Reigns has been training for this.
No,
I'm
with you. I'm not saying that she should have. I'm just saying it gives you an appreciation for what Roman put up with and what he was able to do over time. I reckon it would have been better if she had a mouthpiece to hype her up like Heyman. We've been pretty much saying that since day one. I agree with you there.
Becky was smoked.
Yeah, totally smoked at the end for sure. So let's get over to the men's Royal Rumble. And again, predictability to me was the downfall of this particular Royal Rumble. If you wanted to pinpoint something not to like about it, again, going into it, I had Samoa Joe because I wanted to see Samoa Joe win. But I mean, I was picking with my heart more than my head at that point because Samoa Joe got thrown out.
That fat bastard, you call him Sloppy Joe.
Because Sloppy Joe got eliminated by Mustafa Ali, of all people. Mm-hmm. Which, okay, that's fine. I really would have liked to see Joe win it. But anyway.
Which actually makes it even more seem of a burial when Mustafa Ali got eliminated by Nia Jax.
Exactly. Exactly. But I think if you polled everybody prior to the Royal Rumble, the two names that seemed to come up the most as far as what I saw were Drew McIntyre and Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
pretty much.
So, and I would say Seth Rollins probably more so than even Drew McIntyre. So,
yeah, and when
what's up, young
I
Raph?
really thought that he would be McIntyre would last because I picked McIntyre. And I thought he would last, and it was kind of uneventful how he went out. And I think that was kind of one of my issues with the Rumble. And is the fact that a lot of these people, like their eliminations were very underwhelming. There was no epic like elimination. The closest thing is like when Aleister Black eliminated Dean Ambrose, which I thought wasn't big in the moment. But first thing I said when I saw that is like, well, I know his first feud when he gets up to the main roster because that would be awesome, him against Dean.
Dean is the captain of the fucking oversell lately. He oversold the shit out of that elimination. And then that curb stomp in Raw tonight was fucking ridiculous. Like
that was some Rock level shit.
I was going to say that was Rock selling the stunner shit is what that was. Yeah, it was crazy. Becky got concussed by that promo at the end, says Luke
Yeah.
Mantis. Kristen had Kevin Owens, so there's that.
Yeah.
Joe got turned into Joe's Crab Shack. Are you guys fans of Amber O'Neil? I don't know Amber O'Neil, young ref, I'll be honest
The Bullet
with you.
Babe.
Oh,
She
okay,
used
yeah,
to be
of course.
married to Doc Gallows.
Ah, okay then.
But, I mean, her work, yeah. She's pretty good.
I honestly thought Braun was going to win when he got added late. Yeah, that was very cool. You needed a face to win since both title holders are heels, says Jerry. Yeah, okay. The No Way Jose elimination was the best. Yeah, it was a lot of craziness there. So thoughts on Seth Rollins going over at the Royal Rumble? Did you have a problem with Rollins winning it?
I had a problem with the way it was done, but no problem.
You mean him getting put through a table and basically sleeping outside the ring while a bunch of other people get eliminated?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I think if anyone, you do that, you would do that more for a heel. But, like, if you want to get Rollins over as, like, a tough guy, he went fucking an hour. He literally took the last hour of Raw.
Yeah, what was he like? Are you talking about in
that gauntlet match?
That gauntlet match, yeah.
Yeah, so I don't think cardio is a problem. You have him go out there, early. Like, maybe even have him go out there one and go through it all and end up winning it.
Lala in L.A. says she loves Rollins, or he loves Rollins. I don't know if Lala in L.A. is male or female. They love Rollins. He deserved it, though. Rollins will slay the beast, says Steve Weiser. I wouldn't be so sure, but you never know. He won the crowd on tonight on Raw, though. Yeah. So, for those of you tuning in to get your Raw highlights, I'm looking at you, Darren Kirby, across the pond. Seth Rollins was to choose by the end of the program because Triple H came in and decreed it be so. He was to choose who he was going to face at WrestleMania, but Brock Lesnar came out first. Daniel Bryan was supposed to come out, but Seth and Brock got into it, and Seth ate about 6 F5s, and then we went off the air. So we did not find out who Seth Rollins will be fighting at WrestleMania just yet.
And we interrupt this Raw to bring you Raw around WrestleMania 32 when he was doing that shit to Dean Ambrose, and Dean Ambrose did the same thing. Is that all you got?
Pretty much.
So
that's what happens when you mess with the Almighty, says Bobaruski. That crowd tonight spoke volumes for Seth and Hunter promos. Yeah, there was a great, that opening segment I really enjoyed. With, you have to look past the fact that, Triple H pretty much fucked Rollins out of the title after Finn Balor gave it up and they had the 4-way in Houston, which I was at that show.
Yeah.
And Triple H showed up and basically handed the title to Kevin Owens. You got to ignore all that and ignore their feud and their WrestleMania match and so on and so forth. But, it was a cool moment, those two talking, and I enjoyed that. Brian didn't even come out. I bet they ran out of time. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. Seth's elimination of Elias was pretty funny, just slapping his hands there and having him fall off. Brock throwing the belt backstage, which was actually from last year's WrestleMania. I don't know if you saw the clip of that. Him walking backstage after the Mania match and just throwing the Universal title at Vince and the others there. I guess that was on that WWE 24 show or whatever.
Yeah.
But anyway, yet to see what will happen with Seth Rollins. So we'll break down the other matches on the Royal Rumble card here shortly. But I know a lot of you have tuned in because, like many of us, you love to watch Twitter meltdown when shit doesn't go their way. And even though this Rumble pretty much went the way of Twitter, you still got, thank you, Lala in LA, for all the Dong Slayer, since he sends dick pics. Even though the crowd got their way and the two winners of the Rumble, we still had plenty of complaining going on. So we here at the Speez and the Benchmark Show, as we are wont to do, have compiled the worst of the worst, the biggest crybabies on Twitter. And here they are in a very special Royal Rumble edition of Smart Tears, everybody. Here we go. It is Royal Rumble Smart Tears. Silky, you're up first. Here we go, sir.
After a terrible Royal Rumble pay-per-view, I know for a fact that both Raw and SmackDown are going to suck. Fuck you, WWE.
That's pretty much the quintessential Smart Tears quote right there, is what that one is. Fuck! I still can't watch the Royal Rumble. WWE, WWE Network, Vince McMahon, you are all mothers fuckers. You should learn how to download first before crying like babies about a free prize. Fuck you all, bitches. That's it. I won't watch wrestling anymore. That'll show them, Silky. How about that? Fucking turds.
Vince McMahon is a failure at booking on so many levels, it's not funny. The person Vince McMahon booked the worst these past 2 years is the most over person in the company, who had to get by on their own charisma. This company stinks worse than a zombie's ass.
Yeah,
I really could have just. We didn't need all the
other stuff, which is far too wordy. But this company stinks worse than a zombie's ass. I don't know what a zombie's ass smells like. Okay. Get off my screen, John Cena. Oh, it's JBL. Get the fuck off the screen, you asshole.
That's a good one.
That is excellent.
Could that Shane McMahon kindly go fuck off from television forever? Did you send that? Do you have another account?
I did not. I promise. That was not me. I could shit on the fact that another tag team barely having even teamed at all won the titles, but that would distract from everything else that sucks about this. Fuck this.
Nice.
Oh, goodness.
When will Ronda get some decent ring gear? Bitch is a millionaire.
Oh, that is not my burner account. Thank you very much.
Well, actually, I gotta say, I actually like Ronda's gear from. I don't like her makeup, but her gear was actually.
It was a little bit better.
Yeah.
It was a little bit better this time around. What the fuck has happened to Shinsuke's ring gear? It looks like a kid has said to his mom, I want to go to the Halloween party as a hybrid of old school Kane and John Travolta in the film Cocktail.
God damn.
Which is brilliant when you think John Travolta wasn't even in Cocktail. It's
yeah,
just
that
a
was
random fucking movie
Swayze.
there.
This is fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Literally
right.
the most predictable outcome you could have imagined. Very disappointing.
Okay, isn't that cute? You put me into smart tears. That's very nice. Thank you.
Oh, you're such a bitch.
Speaking of bitches, Shane is a bitch.
Nice segue.
This is stupid as fuck, Royal Rumble. Thanks for the part-timer getting another belt. Reason number 108, the WWE eats ass, and not in the good way. That's kind of dirty.
Yeah.
Suddenly people want to know
Paid
who's...
protester from Pittsburgh.
Yeah, exactly. That's what you folks need to look up on Twitter if you're trying to slide in those DMs.
So the Royal Rumble was ass because they really put bitch-ass Kurt, bitch-ass Jose, bitch-ass Titus, Dolph Ziggler when his ass about to leave, and that strong-bodied female Nia Jax instead of fucking Bray Wyatt. I am so mad at them motherfuckers. I could cry, and I'm holding back tears. Real.
That's literal spark tears. Like,
wow.
Our kid is literally crying.
Bitch-ass Kurt, bitch-ass Jose. And I'm assuming that's Kurt Angle, not Kurt Hawkins, even though she spelled it wrong.
Exactly. That's okay.
She needs a bitch-ass spelling check.
That's true. I'm glad Brock Lesnar made Finn Balor look like a piece of shit at the Royal Rumble. I love Finn, but that beast shit was hardcore. And by the way, fuck John Cena.
What the fuck? And then I love how he tags Paul Heyman.
Exactly.
Like,
why John Cena there? I don't know, but it just worked.
Elias and Jarrett. I couldn't have picked two niggas I care about less. Oh my god. Oh my god. That was so good.
Oh goodness. Finn's done his homework. What's Lester's weakness? His dick. Sable's been destroying that thing for over a decade.
Oh my god.
Oh goodness.
Hold up.
Suki can't even read it, dude.
Niggas ran a train on Nia Jax. Oh my god. Oh god, that's so bad.
I knew he wasn't going to be able to take it back. And finally, fuck you, Adam Levine. That's what. There you have it, folks. The special Royal Rumble edition of Smart Tears right here on the Speez and the Benchmark Show.
Ran a train on Nia Jax.
As soon as I saw that ran a train on Nia Jax, I knew Suki was going to lose his shit, and I didn't tell him about it on purpose. Oh, 832-937.
Okay, I'm good.
4559 if you want to get it on the phone lines.
Oh, wow.
And rescue Silky from this completely insane night.
Yeah, they did. Like, that was fucked up. Like,
now to me, and we didn't talk about this, and let me get over to this other one that's got our where's our phone number on here? There we go. We didn't talk about the Nia Jax appearance in the. We mentioned it briefly in the men's Royal Rumble. Now I'll say this: we talked about there not being many memorable moments in the women's Rumble. To me, the most memorable moment of the whole fucking show was Nia Jax coming in there, and let's be honest, Nia Jax looked pretty fucking good in there. She certainly looked better than what R-Truth would have done, or if R-Truth did anything, it probably wouldn't have been anything much better than what Nia Jax did.
I'm just mad that I didn't get a dance break.
But then she ate the super kick from Dolph Ziggler.
Yep.
Then she ate the fucking 619 from Rey Mysterio, which was great. And then the crowd went ape shit for the RKO.
Yep.
That was fucking awesome. I mean, that was
good.
Outstanding. Now, there's a lot of talk and people say, oh, intergender wrestling. Oh, we're taking a step towards intergender wrestling. If you want to put Nia Jax in there against people that, she could probably whip, I don't have any problem with that. But I don't know about the whole intergender wrestling thing coming soon to WWE. I wouldn't go that far, but I thought it was a cool moment. I thought Nia Jax did great. It's a perfect spot for her because everybody fucking hates her. Yeah. So have her go out there and beat the shit out of R-Truth, who everybody loves, and then go in there and eat a couple finishers, let the crowd pop, and get her thrown out of there. And she got rid of Mustafa Ali, who fucking ruined my pick of Samoa Joe. So
yeah, and apparently she made history because she was
the first woman to eliminate someone in both, correct?
Yes.
What's up, Mark? Will, good to see you. What about the smart tiers for that trash of a Raw Tag Team Rumble pre-show? One of the worst ever.
I didn't even watch that.
Yeah, I didn't either. I heard it was going to be, and it wasn't even, it was basically one of the authors of Pain, whichever one wasn't injured, and one guy from the Revival against Rude and Gable, and of course Rude and Gable won. So
okay, yeah. No, I didn't watch that shit. I caught it when I caught the Shinsuke and Rusev match, which basically, that's fucked up. He just lost his title as a means to get Becky Lynch into the Rumble when you think about it.
That's pretty much what it was.
Because the whole leg injury came from that match. I don't know how she jumped off the apron. How if she's an actual wrestler and she gets in there and wrestles matches, right? And does stuff off the ropes, all that type of stuff. I don't see how falling from the apron hurt.
Yeah, I know.
And then that hurt her so bad that 6 hours later, or in the SpongeBob for 6 hours later.
Yeah, exactly.
That she couldn't go, and she's still hobbling.
I don't get it either. That RKO blew up the whole stadium, says Lid Mantis, and that doesn't surprise me. But she's a big girl. She can handle it, says I Love Budweiser. R-Truth would have cleaned house and challenged for the Cruiserweight title.
Yeah.
Yeah, EC3 not being in it was a surprise. I thought Velveteen Dream not being in it was a big surprise.
Yeah, that was a big surprise.
Because I really thought...
We were all speculating, but it just seemed like but maybe because they have that half-time heat shit. But then again, Gargano's part of it, and he was in the Rumble. Yeah, I was surprised. That was a nice surprise to see Gargano. Yeah,
I thought Gargano showing up was great. Aleister Black did very well for himself. There were plenty of people that showed up that did very well. Lana's been downgraded to valet status. Yeah. That was...
Bitch, you've been demoted.
It was a little bit silly. So let's get to the matches themselves. Brock Lesnar, Finn Balor. I hated to be the guy, but I pretty much said there's no fucking way Brock Lesnar is beating Finn Balor. And it was, no.
You mean the other way around, don't you?
There's no fucking way Finn Balor is beating Brock Lesnar. Thank you. I stand corrected. But I will say this, and even though Silky picked Finn Balor.
I did.
Silky did call correctly that the way to make this match more interesting, and he's going to play his Negrodamus music here, because let's face it, Silky has a mind for booking, and he's usually right about these things. You called it in terms of the way to make this match different is to have Finn Balor come in hot and just start whooping Brock's ass from the very beginning. And honestly, that was a nice change of pace.
Yeah,
it was a nice change of pace.
The monotony of like what everyone thought is a typical Brock Lesnar smaller man match is he gets suplexed, or he suplexes a bunch of times, and then he gets his ass kicked on the comeback. But I mean, it flowed so perfectly, and that's why what made me think about it is that this is Finn Balor's one in his mind. This is Finn Balor's possibly only shot at getting that title he never lost. Why wouldn't he come out and he knows he's outmatched as far as strength, and arguably they could say he's outmatched in quickness. And
yeah, because
Brock Lesnar,
Brock's a fucking freak of nature, man. He
exactly.
Really is.
So that's in what you would do if you feel like you're outclassed on every level is you try to take it to them first and don't give them a chance.
That's exactly right.
Didn't quite work out.
But hey, you were exactly on point. And to be honest, I loved the finish of this match.
Me too.
I thought Finn hitting the coup de grace, which why the fuck does Michael Cole call it the coup de grace?
I don't know.
That CE is silent, Michael Cole. Coup de grace.
Coup de Gracie.
Exactly. When Finn hit that, the place went apeshit, and then for Brock to just immediately turn it into the submission and win by submission.
As he kicked out, he caught that submission, which was pretty cool.
Was Finn even going for the pin at that point?
No, he went for the pin. The ref counted. He kicked, and
is that when he got him?
Yeah,
I can't remember the exact sequence, but
out, he hooked the arm and
so good.
Was like so seamless. And then what I loved about it is like you can't when you like Triple H, Muscle Man, he can get away with like crawling to the ropes or standing up with Brock. Finn Balor gives up over 100 fucking pounds.
Exactly.
Like, that's not fucking happening. So, especially he had a grapevine, too. Had the legs grapevine around the waist. There was nothing. He crawled about an inch, and that was all he could fucking do, and then he had to tap.
Yeah, exactly.
But the visual was fucking, that was the moment, like, Brock eyes, like, all crazy-eyed and stuff. That was fucking awesome.
Oh, yeah, it was great. It was great. Lid Mantis is very happy that all the shit that he talked about Brock and Finn came true. Which, Litman and I become very unpopular around the time that Brock Lesnar matches come around because the circles that we tend to run in, people don't like Brock Lesnar and they're ready for him to lose, and we just keep saying it ain't gonna fucking happen. Now, it might happen come WrestleMania time, but it wasn't gonna happen to Finn Balor.
Okay.
And apparently it's now official, according to many people here. What are they saying, Silky? That Rollins versus Lesnar is a go.
Yep.
WWE just made it official on Twitter. Brock versus
that looked
Rollins
more like
at
a
WrestleMania.
dick shot, if anything. If you look at how tall fucking Lesnar is, realistically, he took the point of that right to the dick.
Yeah, that was, oh man, that did not look good. But hey, listen, kudos to both of those guys again. For all these people say, Brock's matches are all fucking formulaic. They're all the same. He doesn't sell for anybody. Blah, blah, blah.
He sells his ass off.
He sells his fucking ass off.
I'm not a fan of Brock Lesnar being a part-time champion, at least a part-time like he is, like almost never there.
Yeah.
But one thing I can say is that if you look at all of his matches, he sells his ass off.
Absolutely.
No matter if it's fucking Daniel Bryan, AJ Styles, Braun Strowman, Samoa Joe. He sells for him.
Yep.
He makes them. He understands the business. If he doesn't make the fans believe on some level they can get this win, nobody's going to want to see him.
That's right. That's right. That's what I'm saying. He gets it. He absolutely. And let's face it, wrestling history is just full of total assholes who refuse to do the job for people, refuse to put other people over, refuse to sell for people. And a lot of times it was big guys refusing to sell for the little guys, or singles wrestlers refusing to sell for fucking tag team guys, or whatever the case may be. Brock could totally be a prick like that and say, I'm not fucking selling for Finn fucking Balor. Have you looked at this guy? But he doesn't do that. He goes out there and makes Finn Balor look like a fucking champ. And that was great. It was absolutely great. Now, somebody brought up the NoFX fan brought up Chris Jericho. I don't know if you saw these tweets.
No,
but Chris Jericho drunk tweeting last night. He's since deleted them. I retweeted one of them, and hopefully you can still see it on our Twitter page at Speez Benchmark. But he said something about how, hey, intimidation is great and everything, but lose the 40-year-old gut and something or other else. And people were like, Chris, have you looked in the mirror lately, brother? Like, you got nothing to be talking about, man.
Like, that's not you.
And then he talked about how, oh, man, all these people saying we need all these WWE stars. We're looking at like 4 to 6 guys tops. We don't need anybody else. And I was like, where the fuck is this coming from? And then they're gone now. Yeah. So I think Jericho just was
either he got hacked. He was
a Jerichoholic that night, indeed.
Nice.
Watch Brock will beat Seth, lose to Drew at SummerSlam. We'll see. Motivated Brock Lesnar's fantastic. I totally agree. I love Jericho, but Lesnar would kill him.
They've
gotten into it backstage. Yeah, they have gotten it.
From what I heard, Jericho beat his ass.
Well, it was after the Randy Orton match, if I'm not mistaken, where Brock went apeshit and started elbowing Randy Orton, and they had to TKO that shit. Let's speak on AJ Bryan, says Bobaruski. Now, AJ Styles, Daniel Bryan, big swerve at the end of this match. nobody fucking saw Eric Rowan showing up. And if they were going to show up, if he was going to show up, it certainly wasn't going to be here. You figured he'd be in the Rumble.
No.
Just not feeling AJ Styles and Daniel Bryan.
No, the match was fucking great. It was the finish that was bullshit.
You didn't like the finish.
I did not like the finish because, first of all, I forgot about fucking Eric Rowan. And then I'm like, okay, I guess the Bludgeon Brothers are dead. So, like, I don't understand. Like, it was stupid. Like, if you're going to do something like that, you need to have someone a little bit bigger in stature, like name value.
To come out and assist you in a victory like that?
I think that's at least my opinion because, I mean, no one cared about Eric Rowan and, like, it just, I don't know. It was just so, it just left a bad taste in my mouth. Like, if anything, like getting involved like he did, I would have rather see Daniel Bryan put AJ away with his own shit.
Yeah.
Like,
well, and
after, like, maybe you could still use Rowan as a distraction or something like that.
Right.
Or even if, I think would have been a big dick move is he hits him with that. I don't know if you can call it a choke slam since he was grabbing him by the face. It's more like a face slam.
Yeah, like that face slam, yeah.
Yeah. If he would have told Rowan to stand him up and then he would have hit the running knee and then pinned him, I think that would have got a little more heat because it made Daniel Bryan look like it did. Like, hey, I won, so he can come back and say, I beat AJ. Did you not see me hit him with my flying knee?
Yeah.
Totally, like, not acknowledging the fact that before that he took a choke slam, face slam, whatever you want to call it.
Now, Bob Aruski brings something up, and again, I'm going to refer to something that I tweeted out last night. He says, should have been second on the card. Your crowd is basically tired after the Women's Rumble. I said it last night that I felt like a lot of the reaction, which was indifference in a lot of cases to this AJ Styles Daniel Bryan match, was going to be blamed on the fact that everybody just come down off the high of Becky Lynch winning the Women's Rumble. But honest and truly, how many people were really looking forward to seeing Daniel Bryan and AJ Styles again? And a lot of the feedback I got on Twitter was kind of like, well, yeah, we've seen it. I mean, it's not like, I don't know. It just, again, for me, and again, perhaps I'm in the minority on it. It's kind of one of those things that we've already seen. And I think maybe just the crowd was just not really into it. I mean, you still had the Men's Rumble to come. You still had Brock versus Finn to come. So, I mean, there were matches that people were far more looking forward to. Now, I agree, maybe you could have put it somewhere else other than right after the Women's Rumble, but I wouldn't blame it entirely on it being the Women's Rumble. I don't know that Daniel Bryan and AJ Styles get people all fired up anymore because we've kind of been there and we've done that, But,
I mean, that's the beauty of wrestling. How many times can you watch Steamboat and Ric Flair or the Steamboat Savage match?
Here's
you can watch
though.
That shit a million times.
For every one of those, though,
every time.
For every one of those feuds, you have a Baron Corbin and Finn Balor where they fought 18 fucking times in 3 months, and everybody hated that one. So it's a roll of the dice. I see what you're saying. Sometimes it can be great, and sometimes it can just be a turd. Any chance of Silky becoming an agent at All Elite Wrestling?
Probably not.
Hey, if they give him a call, someone tells me,
give me a call.
I'll be looking for a co-host.
Tag them on this show so they can see my skills of how I call shit.
Team Vegan Planet is lame, and I'm just not feeling it.
Captain Planet.
Vegan World Order shirts are getting made, says Otis Section. He's calling it now. No Otis Dozovich in the fucking Men's Rumble either. That was disappointing. I was happy about that. I know you were happy about it. Get the Tables is glad the Styles and Bryan feud is over. Crowd didn't chant, though, thank Jesus. Should have let off the show with it, says Jim. Well, that would have been a good one. People would have complained that title was leading off the show, but people complain anyway. We've been there, done that. We're going to talk about TakeOver. Yeah, we're going to take over here in just a minute. How many times can you watch Rey Mysterio, Eddie Guerrero?
All the time is the answer. All of the time.
But again, it's a roll of the dice. There's some feuds where you can watch them over and over, and then there's others where you go, dear God, I'm done with this. How about the women's title matches? Ronda Rousey, Sasha Banks.
Awesome match.
I am not a Ronda Rousey.
Don't qualify it. Just tell them motherfuckers it's awesome.
People know. Hey, I'm just gonna say.
Don't qualify it.
I said to Silky before the show, best match Ronda Rousey's had.
Yes,
hands down, in my opinion.
It was a great match. I mean, she She sold like a champ, like
And
but
she does,
has no
that's
problem.
Her strength. That's her
she
strength,
does not
in
have
my
a problem.
opinion.
But what I liked about it, the nuance is that she wasn't afraid to let Sasha look like the whole thing of Sasha's like, you're not in my league, right? And everyone's hyping how is Sasha in Ronda's league, and she proved that Ronda's not in her league when it comes to wrestling. Because even it got her acknowledged in the crowd, like, you guys can't say I can't wrestle, before she did the Three Amigos. And the fact that she took it to her so much that she couldn't even put her armbar on, like she had to pin her to get the win. Yeah. Though I thought the ending was a little lackluster, because if she could have done something, maybe a bigger move, or maybe, you know, something from the ropes, I think that would have been better. You need that, oh, okay, that's it moment. Like, there's no reason when she's hit this several times on several other women for me to think that that was going to be it.
Yeah.
Like, I was literally like, okay, that was it. I mean, it was a great match. The finish was a little bit of a letdown for me, but all in all, I'm giving that match like an A+. For
I think it was a good women's match, a good solid match. You know, Bobaruski saying he saw some botches in there. Honestly, I saw more egregious stuff in the Becky Lynch match, to be honest with you. We'll get to that one here in a minute. But look, for what it was, I thought it was an entertaining match. I'll put it to you that way. Yes. It's you know, I thought Ronda did a good job, and no problem with the way that Sasha looked. I will say this, I absolutely love the fact that Sasha pretty much said, fuck this handshake, let's be friends thing. This is not over. I'll see you soon. Fuck yes, that's what wrestling's supposed to be. Good on you. She shook her hand or whatever, but then she basically said, bitch, get out of my face. I'm gonna find your fucking ass somewhere down the road, and we're gonna fight again. I love that. So mad props to Sasha Banks for that. Sasha Banks for that.
Yeah, what's up?
Sasha Banks can have a great match with a broom, says Raven's Blood. Sasha versus Rousey should have been better. Sasha's so talented. Okay. I like the name Piper's Pit for Ronda's move. Yeah, a lot of folks don't. No. But that's okay. If we do intergender, we have to see Charlotte versus AJ.
No, we don't.
Don't get your...
No, that's a terrible idea.
It's not going to happen.
It's not going to
happen.
It's not even like that. It's not going to happen. Even if it could, like the intergender thing comes back, that is a terrible fucking idea.
It's just
no offense, no effects.
It's not going to. It's not going to happen anytime soon. Anyway.
Goddamn, that's a bad idea.
So Ronda going over. We kind of all saw that one coming. Asuka versus Becky. This was one again. This is one where I look at Asuka and I look at Becky, and I feel like, from a wrestling perspective, and I'll defer to you on this, from a wrestling perspective, it just looks to me like Becky's totally fucking outclassed. No. Like, totally outclassed. I mean,
no.
I look at Asuka and I look at Becky Lynch and I go, there's no fucking way Becky Lynch should beat Asuka.
No.
Asuka to me is on another level from Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch is plain Jane vanilla shit. Just shit that it just doesn't do it for me.
I mean, no, that's bad. That's not terrible.
Bad. It's not bad.
That's terrible.
Asuka's excellent.
No, she's great, and Becky's great. I don't see one of them being on that much above the other one. I mean, it's wrestling, so naturally you could say that Asuka may be a little bit better, but it's only, I think it's more of the exactness of her character. I mean, because
talking about Asuka?
Yeah. Because think about it, this bitch can't even speak English well. And yet she constantly cutting promos, and you're over here liking that, but then you'll hate on
I haven't said anything about Asuka's promos.
But you'll like that's one of the main things. She can't really talk. Her moves are, I mean,
they're crisp, they're clean, they look legit. They're not slow.
So it looks
lumbering.
legit.
They're not slow lumbering fucking Becky Lynch. So
it looks legit when she jumps and puts her ass in your face.
The flying ass is ridiculous. I will give you that. That's a ridiculous move. And I always call it the flying ass when it happens.
Or when she grabs your head and just gives you a twerk pop in the face. That's legit. Get the fuck out of here, Chris.
No, I'm just saying overall. Okay, tell me what Becky Lynch does that's legit.
The T-bone suplex.
The T-bone suplex.
Yes. Or they call it a Bexploder. But yeah.
The Bexploder.
That's a T-bone suplex. Let's see. The disarmor, which is a literal thing that could literally pull your shit out.
boring. It's boring. It's fucking boring.
How's that any better than the fucking Asuka lock, which is a bullshit chicken wing? That bitch doesn't even lock it in.
Because all the shit that Asuka does leading up to the Asuka lock is much fucking more entertaining. It's much crisper. It's much quicker. It looks like somebody who's a badass. It's going to kick somebody's ass.
But she's hugging the motherfucker's head. She's hugging him. That's a from behind hug. That's all she's fucking doing. And you're going to tell me that's fucking better?
That's a devastating hug, man.
That's fucking better than a move that literally, if I put on right now within seconds, I could pop your shit.
You're nitpicking individual moves. I'm talking overall
shit. You're nitpicking individual moves.
Overall shit.
Your literal question was, what moves
does Becky do?
You said, what moves does Becky do that looks good? And I named them. And now
but you named shitty ones, so you were wrong on that.
How? Okay.
You failed to name. Where are you, Joe? You failed to name.
You failed.
How did I fail?
You a failure.
How did I fail?
To name fucking moves that make Becky look like a badass and look outstanding.
Well, her finish. I named that.
It's run of the mill.
How's that run of the mill?
It's run of the mill.
So but you're arguing that the Asuka lock isn't.
No, I'm saying that.
No. Answer the question. Is the Asuka lock run of the mill?
Is it run of the mill?
Yes.
Maybe.
So what's the difference? Except for one's an actual legit move that could fuck you up, and the other one looks like what you do after you spooning a bitch. Like, what is the real fucking difference?
The real difference, as I've said since this
it's
conversation
the exoticness
started,
of Asuka.
That's all it is. That Asuka's quick, her shit is sharp, her strikes are on point. It looks like it fucking hurts. She sells the character shit, the whole nine. Becky's just it's boring. It's personal taste. It's boring.
Yeah, your taste.
My
is
personal
stupid.
taste. Your taste is
My taste is better.
Not great, but
my taste is great.
Okay.
Motherfucker.
Asuka gets lost in her big kimono. I'm afraid she's going to trip at times.
Nice.
Leave it to Jody to bring us back down off this serious shit. The guy who loves the Revival, who are the self-proclaimed top guys, who jobs every night. Who won tonight with the Revival match? Who was it?
So you want to?
I think it
really?
was the Revival who won tonight.
Really?
He said they job every night. They didn't fucking job tonight. That's all I'm saying in this conversation.
Beat the biggest jobber.
Doesn't matter.
Do you want a cookie for that?
Did they job?
That literally.
No. So is that a correct statement?
Yes,
No, it's
yes,
not.
it is.
What NoFX just did.
You make your jack off of yourself.
Because you said that they job every night, and they didn't fucking job tonight.
Did they job at the Royal Rumble? Or one of them at least?
See, that they were thrown off by the fact that they weren't teaming together.
Did they
because their whole shit
did they
is that
job,
they're a team, baby. They're a team.
Did they job when they
Get the
wrestled?
fuck out of here. You can pick any wrestler on the roster and say, oh, did they job to this person?
Did they
there's
job
no undefeated
to Rubles?
wrestlers in
did they
fucking
job to
WWE.
Did they job to Rubles?
Who the fuck are Rubles?
Rude and Gable.
Of course they did. Yeah, we've been over this.
And did they job
numerous times
to the Lucha House Party
and the B team
Yeah,
I know.
So
it's terrible.
You have one isolated incident of them winning.
No.
You ever heard of the phrase every now and then? Have you ever heard the phrase every now and then the sun shines on the dog's ass?
They beat these other guys.
What?
They beat.
They beat the Lucha House Party how many times?
I don't know how many fucking times they wrestle them. What's the difference? What's the point? The point
they
is
lost,
this, Silky.
They lost
you're
3 times to the
shit around like you do all the
they
time.
lost 3 times to the Lucha House Party.
The statement that was made was that they job every night, and they don't job every night because they fucking won tonight. So that statement is bullshit.
No.
And the conversation.
Have you ever heard the saying?
Because that shit is not true. It is in fact false.
Yes, I can taste Danny Brooke. What's up? Bad bitch alert. Anyway, so. But like I said, every now and then the sun shines on a dog's ass, and that's what tonight's win is.
Hey, NoFX fan says Asuka likes a sleeper hold. Ziggler used to use it.
No, it's not a sleeper hold Ziggler used to use. Ziggler used to use the actual sleeper hold. What Asuka lock is a modified bullshit version of the chicken wing, the crossface chicken wing, except for instead of locking your arms together and hammer locking the arm, you're basically spooning a motherfucker.
They don't job every night is my point. All right, folks. We're getting about...
and yes, they are 2 plain Janes.
They're not 2 plain Janes.
Yes, they are.
Getting to be about that time. So we will dive into some NXT TakeOver talk, hopefully on our Thursday program.
It was a good show.
It was a good show. We enjoyed it very much. We enjoyed all of you being here. And listen, if you're not subscribed to the program, do us a solid.
What the fuck are you doing?
Not only subscribe to the program, but help get the word out. Whether it's on the YouTubes, tinyurl.com/SpeezBenchmark, or on Periscope at Speez Benchmark. Quick public service announcement here. We've decided to halt with the podcast episode, putting the thing out on iTunes and everything like that, because the way we were looking at it was, we pay all this money for web hosting and all this other kind of shit to make sure that the podcast goes out there. If you want to listen to the show, you can go see it. You can go listen to it on YouTube. Just plug it in and listen to it on YouTube. That's it. That's cool.
And plus also the fact that a lot of times, especially it's only our Thursday show, and a lot of times it doesn't play well when you listen back because it's visual.
Yeah, it's visual. There's a lot of shit going on. You have to see my face getting red.
Yeah, you have
when I vehemently thrash Silky for talking all his shit. And
one win, whoop-de-doo.
Get the fuck out of here. 2-time NXT champions.
So, but the one thing, Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins, WWE Tag Team Champs.
Good for them.
Yeah.
That's great.
Wait, how many times have the Revival been there?
0.
Oh, okay. That's
how many times did Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins win the NXT championship?
Oh, wow. So that's like...
That'd be 0.
That'd be like how many...
2 championships for the Rival?
For the Rival?
1 for these other pricks.
Okay, so that's like saying
how many
Toyota Corollas you have?
We're
1.
back with you on
how many
Thursday night,
Ferraris?
8 p.m.
0.
Central Time. That's
fuck out of here
9
with
o'clock for you folks on the East Coast.
Man, that is about the most ignorant shit I've ever heard.
6 o'clock for those of you out there in the 619 with our boy Juanito, who joined us over on the YouTubes tonight.
Yeah, Santino Morella's even a fucking tag team champ.
Well, so are Shane and The Miz, which people are asking about, which is a fucking abomination.
So even Shane and The Miz.
We both picked it. We both knew it was coming.
We knew it was
totally ridiculous.
And Nicholas, the fucking 10-year-old, is a Raw Tag Team champion.
I know.
And the Revival aren't.
It's totally absurd. But hey, you know what? I put myself out there and I tell you who I root for, unlike Super Guy over here, who fucking pretends like he doesn't root for anybody.
I told you.
But he doesn't tell
Ronda
anybody.
Rousey.
You fucking bullshit picked Ronda Rousey and you know it. Anyway, folks, we enjoy the program with you guys all the time. Always happy for those of you who joined us. Thank you very much. Let's give a shout out to all the folks who left us some super arts here tonight. Remember, you can chip into the program by visiting us on the tip jar, tinyurl.com/SB tip jar.
Shut the fuck up so
if you want to make a one-time donation, I'm trying to get the shit out there. So go ahead, Silky. By all means, sir. The mic is yours.
Lala, Otis Section, Kristen Kopp, Mikey Kenobi, whatever.
Mikey Kenobi,
whatever. Miyake, technically.
Okay, yeah.
Anthony, Lit Menace, and Mac Diesel.
Thanks to all of you for the super arts. We are very grateful for that. Thank you very much.
Visit the tip jar.
And
also, buy the shirts. The Caution Heel Turn Imminent shirts.
Exactly.
Chris has been fucking slipping because, he
That's right, because I only do every fucking other thing on this program.
Yeah, he has one fucking job. And yes.
See, I got the title right this time.
Yeah, at least you did get the title right.
I did get the title right this time.
It's great. And yes, the Revival will be one day jobbing on DZW.
Bullshit. If they come to DZW, I'm booking that fucking show, and they're going over everybody. Much real respect to y'all. I appreciate it, Mike Drop and Kristen. Appreciate all you guys stopping by. A lot of new faces here in the last few weeks, and we're very grateful for that. You guys have found us, and we are appreciative of that and glad to have you with us.
And shout out to our boy DJ for being the call screener.
DJ is the man. He's always there to take phone calls as they come in. Silky, anything else about your schedule you want to tell the folks before we say goodnight?
February 23rd, I'm going to be at DZW at the Elks Lodge in a Falls Count Anywhere match where I will be beating the motherfucker down.
You're going over in this one.
I'm hoping. I hope it didn't go like the last one. No one goes into a match hoping thinking they're going to lose.
This is definitely true. All right, folks. For the Benchmark, Silky Baines.
Yo.
Chris Pizak, thank you so much for being with us. Once again, Thursday night, 8 p.m. Central, 9 o'clock on the East Coast. Speez of the Benchmark Show. We will see you then. Good night, everybody.
Fuck the Revival.
Damn it!